Hello citizens and welcome back. In today's series of videos, I am taking a look at the 3 new ships added during CitizenCon. I have split this into 3 videos, so when you're done with this one, go watch the other 2 if you haven't yet. So let's take a look at the Anvil Paladin, a long-awaited addition to the Anvil lineup. Walking up to the Paladin, you're going to see a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences to the Valkyrie. First of all, there's that top and bottom cockpit, where the bottom part houses the gunners and the top part houses the pilot and the co-pilot. And you can see there are a whole bunch of missiles, and that looks like a size 5 to me, but I'm not sure. But that would be very awesome. I also stopped to look at this button, and you can actually click on it, and it lowers this, I suppose, refueling thingy, or I don't know what else it could be, but it's a pretty cool small detail. Here we have the side entrance, and for some reason I thought the Paladin has a rear entrance, but obviously that's where the rail for the turret is, so there has to be a side entrance. And I really love this stair detail. It really is a callback to the Terrapin, which I really like. And we have VTOL engines in the rear, which is going to help in Atmo. And here we have the rear rail for the turret, so it can move from top to bottom. And generally, the Paladin looks like someone took an angle grinder to the Valkyrie, and I really like that. Now let's have a look on the interior. So when you walk into the ramp, you have the airlock area, which is separated from the actual interior space. So as you walk further in, you will find yourself in the armory area. So you have 4 suit lockers and a whole bunch of weapons racks. And I thought these things on the sides would be storage lockers, but I couldn't find a way to open them, so I guess they are not storage lockers. But you have a lot of weapon racks and all sorts of other storage that you might need. I just wish the suit lockers would work. Moving on to the actual interior area, we have the staircase and the 4 SCU cargo grid on the side for your supplies, ammo, additional weapons, and that kind of stuff, which is a very nice addition. We also have a couple of component bays, fire extinguisher, this very interesting structural element thingy. Moving forward, going down the stairs, you have the gunner seats. These 2 operate the side turrets. The side turrets that would be slaved to the pilot if no gunners are present. Where on the other hand, the top turret is not slave to the pilot and needs a gunner to control, or rather needs the co-pilot to control it. And you can see the side turrets have actually really good coverage. The sideways angle is a bit weird to look at, but I appreciate how well they cover the sides of the ship. And we also have a ladder that goes upstairs to the upper bridge, and we're going to see that from the top deck. And here I look at the component bays. So the component bays are scattered around the ship, which I think is a good idea, as it helps mitigate damage from localized hits once physicalized damage is in. On the upper deck, we have one part of the crew area. We have the galley and a dining table. And then moving further along, we have more component bays, and then we have a bedroom for 2 crew members. So we have 2 beds, a nice couch, a desk, and then sort of a workbench area, I would say. I was trying to see if there is a chair that you can pull out, but there is not. And here we also have some storage lockers as well. This is, of course, mirrored on the other side. with 2 more bunks, 2 more storage lockers, another couch, another desk, and another workbench. And I'm assuming that the bunks double as escape pods as well. Moving further to the rear, we have the engineering space with more component base and the engineering console, or another engineering console, since there is one on the lower deck as well. Now, around this time I realized that I haven't seen the bathroom, so I go looking for the bathroom. And it is off to the side in the front of the ship, and it's the standard Anvil bathroom, similar to what we see on the Asgard and the Valkyrie. And finally, moving forward to the upper bridge, we see the ladder from the lower deck, and then we move forward to find the actual pilot and co-pilot seat. So first we look at the co-pilot seat, where we have the turrets, where we have the controls for the big remote turret. And again, you can see great coverage, just like CIG said at CitizenCon. 360 coverage, basically on the top half of the ship, and if you deploy it to the bottom, 360 coverage on the bottom half of the ship. So you do have to choose, but I don't think that's that big of a problem. And finally, let's have a look at the pilot seat and fly this thing around. So again, I wasn't able to find a working combat mission, so I took this thing to Daymar and flew around the canyons a little bit, and it handles really well. It definitely feels smaller and lighter than a Valkyrie or the Asgard, which I think is expected. And you can also see that the 2 side turrets are slaved to the pilot, since I have no gunners on board. So overall, the Paladin has exceeded my expectations, and I think I'll be picking it up during the IAE in a couple weeks. What do you think about the Paladin? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you like this video, sacrifice a like or a comment or even a hype to the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for more if you're not already. Also, here's a shout out to my amazing patrons and channel members for their support of the channel and everything else I do. Thank you for watching, fly safe, and I will see you in the verse.